Commander Olivia Martinez stood tall in her crisp white uniform as she looked out the small window of the transport ship. Stars streaked by in long lines of light. She had been in space many times before, but the view still made her heart beat a little faster. 5 minutes until we reach the Galactic Empire station, said the ship's computer voice. Olivia turned to face her team. 6 women sat in the ship's main area, checking their medical kits. Each wore the same white uniform with a Red Cross patch on the shoulder. Each also had a small blue patch with Earth symbol, a reminder of home. "Listen up, team," Olivia said. Her voice was calm but firm. "This is humanity's first big job for the Galactic Empire. They asked for medics, and that's what we're going to show them." Sergeant Daniela Wright looked up from her kit with a small smile. She was Olivia's right-hand woman with short brown hair and quick eyes that missed nothing. "Just medics, Commander?" she asked. The other women looked up, some hiding smiles. Olivia's face stayed serious. "As far as they know, yes. The Empire specifically asked for female human medics. They believe we're naturally gentle and caring." Lisa Rodriguez, the team's expert on alien biology, laughed. She was checking a scanner that could read the vital signs of 20 different alien species. "If only they knew about your combat record, Commander," Lisa said. 3 battles on Mars and that mission on Europa that's still classified." Olivia nodded. "The Empire doesn't understand humans yet. They think men are for fighting and women are for healing. They don't know that on Earth, our military trains everyone to do both." The ship slowed as it approached a massive space station. The structure was shaped like a wheel with 8 spokes connecting to a central hub. Lights glowed along its surface, and hundreds of ships moved around it like bees around a hive. Kelly Porter, communications specialist, put away her personal tablet. She was the youngest on the team, with bright eyes and a quick mind. "I've been studying their messages," Kelly said. "Something isn't right about this mission. They say they need help with a mysterious illness on Centauri 9, but the communication patterns suggest they're hiding something." "I picked up on that too," Olivia said. "That's why we're bringing extra supplies." She walked to the back of the ship and pressed her hand against a hidden panel. A section of the wall slid open, revealing a hidden compartment filled with weapons. Plasma rifles, hand blasters, and even some explosive devices were packed neatly inside. "Standard medical equipment," Nicole Baker said with a straight face. Nicole was their weapons expert who also had training in emergency medicine. Her hands moved quickly as she checked a plasma rifle before putting it back. "Remember," Olivia told her team, "we are medics first. That's our mission. We're here to help with a health crisis. The weapons are just a precaution." The ship docked with a gentle bump. Through the window, they could see blue-skinned aliens in shiny uniforms waiting for them. "Those are Alcyonians," Lisa said. "They're one of the founding species of the Galactic Empire. Very proud, very traditional. They'll be shocked if they see us do anything more than bandage wounds." Olivia straightened her uniform. "Then let's not shock them and yet. Bring only the medical kits for now. We'll come back for our extra supplies when it's quiet." The ship's door opened with a hiss of air. The team lined up behind Olivia, faces professional and calm. They looked exactly like what the Empire had requested, a human female medical team ready to heal and nurture. An Alcyonian stepped forward. He was nearly 7 feet tall with blue skin that shimmered under the lights. 3 large eyes blinked at them from a face that looked both bird-like and reptilian. "Welcome, human healers," the Alcyonian said. His voice was deep and clicked slightly when he spoke certain sounds. "I am Ambassador Krivosh. The Empire is grateful for your assistance." Olivia gave the greeting they had practiced, a slight bow with her hand over her heart. "We are honored to serve, Ambassador. I am Commander Olivia Martinez of Earth's United Defense Force Medical Division." The ambassador's 3 eyes blinked in sequence. "Commander, you use military titles for your healers? On Earth, our medical personnel are part of our defense forces," Olivia explained smoothly. "It helps with organization and chain of command." The ambassador seemed confused but didn't question further. "You will be transported to Centauri 9 immediately. The situation there grows worse by the day." He led them through the station to a larger ship. As they walked, Olivia noticed how other aliens stopped to stare at them. Humans were still new to the galactic community. Most species had only heard stories about Earth. They look so fragile, she heard one alien whisper. How will they help our soldiers? Daniela walked beside Olivia and whispered, if they only knew what happened during the Mars Rebellion. You took down 15 armed attackers while treating wounded civilians. Olivia kept her face neutral. That's not in my official record, and you know it. As far as the galaxy knows, human women are just kind-hearted healers. They boarded the larger ship and were shown to their quarters, a shared room with 6 beds and a small area for their equipment. As soon as the door closed behind their guide, the women's professional smiles dropped. Kelly, scan for listening devices, Olivia ordered. Kelly pulled out a small device and moved it around the room. After a minute, she nodded. Clear, Commander. Good. Lisa, what do you make of this mysterious illness? The ambassador seemed genuinely worried. Lisa frowned. They didn't give us enough details, but if they're taking us straight to Centauri 9, instead of briefing us properly, it must be serious. Or it's not an illness at all, Nicole suggested, sitting on one of the beds. Could be something else entirely. Olivia looked at each member of her team. They were the best Earth had to offer. Skilled healers who could also fight like warriors if needed. Whatever waited for them on Centauri 9, they would be ready. We go in as medics, she told them. We help whoever needs helping. But keep your eyes open. If this is something more than a medical emergency, I want to know about it. The ship rumbled as its engines started. Through a small window, they watched as the space station grew smaller behind them. Ahead lay Centauri 9 and their first true test in the wider galaxy. Olivia touched the hidden weapon strapped to her thigh under her uniform. The Galactic Empire is about to learn that human women are full of surprises. The ship landed with a soft thud on Centauri 9. Olivia looked out the window at a world of purple skies and strange twisted trees. A large military base spread out before them, with high walls and watchtowers. Soldiers moved about in formation, most of them tall and covered in scales. Varangians, Lisa whispered to the team. The reptilian species. They make up most of the Empire's ground forces. Very strong and tough. They heal quickly from wounds, but might be more affected by poison or disease. The ship's door opened. A Varangian officer waited for them, standing stiffly. His scales were dark green with gold patterns that probably showed his rank. I am General Kraz, he said in a rough voice. You are the human medics? Olivia stepped forward. Yes, General. Commander Martinez and team reporting for medical duty. General. Kraz looked them up and down. His eyes were yellow with black slits. You are smaller than expected. Daniela stepped up beside Olivia. Small but effective, General. We're eager to see your patients. The general grunted and turned. Follow me. The situation is worse today. 10 more soldiers fell ill overnight. He led them through the base. Olivia noticed everything. The number of guards, the locations of doors, the weapons the soldiers carried. Her team did the same, their eyes moving constantly while their faces stayed calm and professional. They entered a large building marked with a symbol Lisa had told them meant medical in the Empire's main language. Inside, rows of beds filled a long room. On the beds lay Varangian soldiers, their scales dull and their breathing slow. 43 cases so far, General Kraz said. It starts with headaches, then weakness, then they can't move their arms and legs well. Some forget things. 2 have died. Lisa immediately pulled out her scanner and moved to the nearest patient. Kelly took out a small recording device to document symptoms. Nicole began checking vital signs. How long has this been happening? Olivia asked. 2 weeks, the general said. It started with one soldier who returned from patrol. Then others got sick. We thought it might spread through air or touch, so we separated them. But that didn't help. Olivia frowned. That didn't sound like a normal disease pattern. What are they eating, drinking? Standard rations. Same as the healthy soldiers. For the next 4 hours, the team examined patients and took samples. They worked efficiently, moving from bed to bed. Other alien medical staff watched them with curiosity. When they finally took a break, Kraz showed them to their quarters, a small room near the medical building. "You will stay here. If you need anything, use this." He handed Olivia a communication device. "I will return in the morning." When they were alone, Olivia gathered her team. "Report," she said simply. Lisa spoke first. "This isn't a normal disease. Their nervous systems are being attacked, but not by any virus or bacteria I can find. The pattern suggests poison." Nicole nodded. "I agree. The progression of symptoms matches neurotoxin exposure, but I can't find how they're being exposed." Kelly had been quiet, working on her communication devices. She looked up with serious eyes. "I found something while scanning the base's signals," she said. "There are unusual transmissions coming from somewhere inside this base. Coded messages that don't match standard Empire communications." Olivia thought for a moment. "So we might have sabotage, not an epidemic. Someone might be poisoning these soldiers on purpose." Daniela, who had been checking the security of their room, rejoined them. "If that's true, we need to be very careful. We don't know who we can trust." "What about retrieving our weapons?" Nicole asked quietly. Olivia shook her head. "Too risky right now. There are too many eyes on us. We'll wait until night. For now, we continue acting like medics only." They returned to the medical building and worked until late. As they treated the sick soldiers, Olivia kept her eyes open for anything unusual. She noticed that the soldiers who got sick first had all been on the same patrol unit. That couldn't be a coincidence. When night came, most of the base grew quiet. Only a few guards patrolled outside. Olivia waited until the late hour, when even alien eyes grew heavy. "Kelly, loop the security feeds like we practiced," she whispered. Kelly nodded and worked quickly on a small device. "Done. We have 20 minutes before anyone might notice." Olivia and Daniela slipped out of their quarters and moved silently, through the shadows toward the landing area where their transport ship waited. Years of training made their movements quiet and sure. They reached the ship without being seen and quickly retrieved a large medical case that actually contained their weapons. As they started back, a sound made them freeze. A door opened nearby, and voices spoke in low tones. Olivia pulled Daniela behind a large container, and they waited, barely breathing. Two figures walked past. One was a Varangian officer, but the other was a species they hadn't seen before. This alien was tall and thin with pale skin that seemed to glow slightly in the darkness. "The humans are a problem," the unknown alien was saying. "They ask too many questions. They might discover what we're doing." "They are just females," the Varangian replied. "On their world, females are soft creatures who heal and nurture. They are no threat." "Do not underestimate any species," the pale alien warned. "Dispose of them if they become suspicious. The plan must continue. The Empire must be shown as weak and unable to protect its worlds." The two aliens walked away, their voices fading. Olivia and Daniela exchanged looks in the darkness. Their mission had just become much more complicated. They hurried, back to their quarters where the others waited anxiously. "We have a problem," Olivia said as she opened the case of weapons. "Someone is definitely poisoning these soldiers on purpose, and now they're watching us." She quickly told them what she and Daniela had overheard. Lisa's eyes widened. "The pale alien you described sounds like a Scythian. They're supposed to be peaceful traders if they're involved in sabotage." "This is bigger than a local problem," Olivia finished. "This could be an attempt to destabilize the whole Empire." Kelly checked her devices. "Commander, I'm picking up increased communications. Something's happening." Before Olivia could respond, alarms blared throughout the base. Red lights flashed in the corridors outside their room. "We're under attack," Daniela said, already reaching for a weapon. Olivia made a quick decision. "This is no longer just a medical mission. Arm yourselves, but keep the weapons hidden when possible. Our cover as medics might still be useful." As Her team quickly and efficiently prepared. Olivia thought about the irony. The Empire had asked for gentle human female medics. Instead, they were about to discover what Earth women were truly capable of. "Let's go save some patients," she said, sliding a plasma pistol into a hidden holster under her medical coat. The alarm screamed through the base. Red emergency lights flashed in the hallways. Commander Olivia Martinez led her team toward the medical building. They moved quickly but smoothly, their weapons hidden under their white medical coats. "Remember, we're medics first," Olivia told them as they ran. "But if it comes to fighting, don't hold back." They reached the medical building and found chaos. The alien medical staff ran in all directions. No one was watching the sick soldiers. "Protect the patients," Olivia ordered. "Lisa, keep working on finding the poison. Kelly, monitor communications. Nicole and Daniela, secure the doors." General Kraz burst into the room, his scales darker with stress. 4 Varangian soldiers followed him. "Humans, get to the safe room now," he shouted. Olivia stood her ground. "We will not leave our patients, General. What's happening?" Kraz's yellow eyes narrowed. "Scythian attackers have breached the outer wall. They will be here soon. You must—" An explosion rocked the building. One wall cracked and dust filled the air. Through the hole in the wall came 5 tall, thin aliens with glowing pale skin, Scythians. They carried long weapons that hummed with energy. "There," one Scythian shouted, pointing at the sick soldiers. "Finish them all." Kraz and his guards moved to defend, but they were slow. The Scythians fired, and 2 Varangian guards fell. Olivia didn't hesitate. She pulled her plasma pistol from under her coat and fired 3 rapid shots. The first Scythian dropped. The others turned to her in shock. "The human female has a weapon," one shouted. By then, Daniela, Nicole, and Kelly had also drawn their weapons. Their shots were precise, hitting targets without endangering the patients. The Scythians fired back, but the human women moved with surprising speed and skill. They dodged and rolled, using beds and equipment as cover. Each time they appeared, their shots found targets. General Kraz stood frozen, his mouth open in surprise as the human medics fought with the skill of elite soldiers. In less than a minute, all 5 Scythian attackers were down. Olivia moved forward and kicked their weapons away. "Bind them," she ordered her team. 2 are still alive. We'll need to question them." Kraz approached slowly, looking at Olivia with new eyes. You are warriors?" "We are medics," Olivia said firmly. "But on Earth, our medical teams train to protect their patients. All humans can fight when needed." She turned to the stunned Varangian. "General, this attack is connected to the illness. The Scythians are poisoning your soldiers, then attacking when your forces are weakened." Before Kraz could respond, Lisa called out from where she was examining one of the Scythian weapons. "Commander, look at this." She held up the weapon. "There's a secondary chamber here that doesn't connect to the firing mechanism. It's filled with a green liquid." She ran a small device over the liquid. "It matches the toxin I found in the sick soldiers. They've been using these weapons to spread poison during fake battles." General Kraz's scaled hands tightened into fists. "Impossible. The Scythians are our trading partners. They have been for 100 years. At that moment, Kelly joined them. "Commander, I've intercepted communications. This isn't just happening here. 3 other Imperial bases are under attack from Scythians, and I found evidence that someone high in the Imperial command is helping them." Olivia nodded. "A coordinated attack against the Empire. General, we need to warn other bases." But Kraz was still staring at the women in disbelief. The Empire was told that human females were gentle healers, that you had soft hands and kind hearts. Daniela smiled as she checked her weapon. "We do have kind hearts, General. That's why we fight so hard to protect our patients." More explosions sounded outside. The battle for the base was still raging. Olivia made a quick decision. "We need to split up. Lisa and Nicole will stay here to protect the patients and work on an antidote for the poison. Daniela, Kelly, and I will help defend the base." Kraz shook his head. "No, you are medical staff. I cannot allow—" "With respect, General," Olivia interrupted, "you need every fighter you can get, and we're very good fighters." Without waiting for permission, Olivia led Daniela and Kelly outside into the battle. The base was in flames in several places. Varangian soldiers fought against more Scythians who had breached the walls. The three women moved like shadows through the chaos, using the skills they had learned during Earth's most recent conflicts. They flanked the Scythian attackers, their shots always finding targets. Word spread quickly among the Varangian defenders. The human medics are fighting. The human females are warriors. Olivia led her team to the main gate where the heaviest fighting was happening. A group of Scythians had set up a heavy weapon that fired blasts of energy at the defenders. "Cover me," Olivia told Daniela and Kelly. Then she sprinted across open ground, dodging enemy fire. The Scythians tried to target her, but she moved too quickly and unpredictably. She reached the shadow of a building near their position and threw a small explosive device she had taken from their hidden supplies. The device landed perfectly behind the heavy weapon. The explosion sent the Scythians flying through the air. The heavy weapon tipped over, useless. Varangian soldiers cheered and pushed forward, inspired by the humans' bravery. After 2 hours of fighting, the base was secure. The remaining Scythians had retreated or been captured. Olivia and her team regrouped at the medical building, tired but uninjured. General Kraz found them there, treating wounded Varangians alongside their own soldiers. "Commander Martinez," he said formally. His voice sounded different now, respectful. "The Empire owes you and your team a great debt." Olivia nodded as she bandaged a wounded soldier. "Thank you, General. But our work isn't done. We need to find the traitor in your command and stop the other attacks." Kraz looked troubled. "There will be resistance. Many in the Empire believe humans are primitive newcomers to the galaxy. They will not want to believe we needed your help." Olivia smiled slightly. "Then they'll have to get over it. Because right now, we're your best chance to stop this conspiracy." Security footage of the human women fighting had already been sent to the Imperial Command. Across the galaxy, alien military leaders watched in shock as the supposedly gentle human medics took down enemies with precision and skill. The Galactic Empire was about to learn an important lesson about humans. Never judge them by their size, their gender, or their primary job. Every human was capable of surprising you, and the Scythian conspirators were about to learn an even more important lesson. Never threaten patients when human medics are around. Morning came to Centauri 9. The base looked different now. Burn marks and blast holes showed where the fighting had been worst. Soldiers worked to repair walls and buildings. Medical teams tended to the wounded. Commander Olivia Martinez stood in the command center with her team. The room was filled with screens showing different parts of the base. General Kraz and his officers were there too, watching the humans with new respect. "We need to share what we've learned," Olivia said. "This attack was well planned. The Scythians first poisoned your soldiers to weaken your defenses, then attacked directly." Lisa stepped forward with a small device in her hand. "I've analyzed the poison completely now. It attacks the nervous system of most galactic species. But humans are naturally immune to it. That's why they didn't try to poison us, and why they didn't expect us to fight back," Kelly added. General Kraz frowned, his scaled face creasing. "But why would the Scythians betray the Empire? They have been peaceful traitors for generations." "Power," Daniela said simply. "If the Empire appears weak and unable to protect its worlds, people will look for new leaders." Olivia nodded. "And we believe someone high in your command is helping them." Kelly intercepted communications that suggest this plot goes all the way to the Imperial core worlds. The command center grew quiet. What she was suggesting was close to treason. "That is a serious claim," Kraz said slowly. "Do you have proof?" Kelly connected her devices to the command center's systems. "I've been tracking the unusual communication patterns. They lead to these 5 locations." She pointed to spots on a map of the galaxy. "And all communications pass through the Imperial flagship first," one of Kraz's officers gasped. "The flagship is commanded by High Admiral Vex. He is one of the Empire's most decorated leaders. And the perfect person to coordinate an attack from inside," Olivia said. "We need to warn the Emperor." Kraz shook. his head. Impossible. All communications must pass through proper channels, and those channels go through the Admiralty. Olivia smiled. Then we'll deliver the message in person. Hours later, Olivia's team was aboard a small, fast ship. General Kraz had given it to them reluctantly, after Olivia had convinced him that the future of the Empire might depend on their mission. "We're being followed," Nicole reported from the pilot's seat. "2 Scythian ships. They must have been waiting for us to leave." "They know we're going to expose them," Olivia said. "Kelly, can you send a message to Earth? We need backup." Kelly worked on the communication system. "The Scythians are jamming standard frequencies, but I can try our emergency channel." The ship shook as energy blasts hit their shields. "Nicole, evasive maneuvers," Olivia ordered. "Daniela, can we fight back?" Daniela checked the ship's systems. "This vessel has basic weapons. Not enough to defeat 2 attack ships, but maybe enough to slow them down." The chase continued for an hour. Nicole's skilled flying kept them ahead of their pursuers, but the Scythian ships were faster. Eventually, they would catch up. "Commander," Kelly called out, "I'm receiving a transmission. It's from an Earth ship. The USS Liberty is in this sector. They picked up our emergency signal and are heading toward us." Relief filled the small ship. The USS Liberty was one of Earth's newest vessels, built with technology humans had adapted after joining the galactic community. "Tell them we have critical information for the Emperor about a Scythian plot," Olivia said, "and warn them that High Admiral Vex might be involved." The Liberty responded quickly. It would intercept them in 20 minutes. But the Scythian ships were closing in faster than that. "We need to buy time," Olivia decided. "Nicole, head for that asteroid field. We'll try to lose them in there." Nicole turned the ship toward a dense field of space rocks. Flying through asteroids was dangerous, but it might confuse their pursuers' targeting systems. The ship darted between large rocks, narrowly avoiding collisions. One Scythian ship followed them in, while the other circled the edge of the field, waiting. "They're still gaining," Daniela warned. Suddenly, a new blip appeared on their scanner, a massive ship approaching fast. "It's the Liberty," Kelly shouted. The Earth ship was 3 times larger than the Scythian vessels. Its weapons locked onto the enemy ships immediately. A voice came over their communication system. "This is Captain Alan Ross of the USS Liberty. Break off your pursuit of our medical vessel immediately, or we will open fire." The Scythian ships hesitated, then turned to flee. But the Liberty was faster. It disabled one with a precise shot, while the other managed to jump away into hyperspace. Later, aboard the Liberty, Olivia and her team shared everything they had learned with Captain Ross. "We need to get this information to the Emperor without alerting Admiral Vex," Olivia explained. "The Scythians have infiltrated the highest levels of the Imperial command structure." Captain Ross nodded. "The Liberty has clearance to approach the Imperial core worlds because of a diplomatic mission. We can get you there." 3 days later, they reached the heart of the Galactic Empire, a massive artificial world that housed the Imperial Palace and government buildings. Security was tight, but Captain Ross used his diplomatic credentials to get them inside. Still, they knew they had to be careful. If Admiral Vex learned they were there, they would be in danger. Olivia led her team through the grand halls of the Imperial Palace. Aliens of all species stared at the humans with curiosity. Humans were still rare in the galaxy, especially this, deep in Imperial territory. They reached a security checkpoint outside the Emperor's chambers. Guards blocked their way. "We have critical information for the Emperor," Olivia said. "It concerns the security of the Empire." The head guard, a massive Alcyonian, looked down at them. "The Emperor sees no one without an appointment, especially not primitive species." Before Olivia could respond, a door opened nearby, and an Alcyonian in elaborate robes stepped out. Ambassador Krivosh from the space station. "Commander Martinez?" he said in surprise. "What are you doing in the Imperial Palace?" "Ambassador, we have discovered a plot against the Empire," Olivia said quickly. "We must speak with the Emperor." Krivosh hesitated, then nodded. "I will vouch for these humans. They were sent to help with a medical emergency. If they claim to have important information, I believe them. The guards still looked doubtful, but the ambassador's word carried weight. They were led into a waiting area. The Emperor will see you shortly, Krivosh told them. But be warned, he is not used to dealing with new species. You must be respectful. Olivia nodded. Thank you, Ambassador. You may have just helped save the Empire. News was spreading through the palace that human females, sent as medics, had fought like warriors and uncovered a plot against the Empire. Some believed it. Others thought it was impossible. But soon the Emperor would know the truth, and the Galactic Empire would never again underestimate humans, especially not their women. The Imperial throne room was enormous. The ceiling rose so high that Olivia could barely see it. The walls glowed with a soft blue light. Guards stood at attention all around the edges of the room. In the center was a raised platform where the Emperor sat. He was not what Olivia had expected. Instead of a physical being, the Emperor appeared as a swirling mass of light and shadow that vaguely formed the shape of a person. The Empire's ruler was an energy being. Olivia and her team approached, slowly, and stopped at the proper distance. They had been quickly taught how to bow in the Imperial style. "Rise, humans," said the Emperor. His voice seemed to come from everywhere at once. "Ambassador Krivosh tells me you have discovered a plot against my empire." Olivia stood straight and nodded. "Yes, Your Imperial Majesty. We were sent to Centauri 9 as medics to treat a mysterious illness. We discovered it was not an illness at all, but poison." She explained everything they had learned, how the Scythians had been poisoning, Imperial soldiers then attacking the weakened bases, how the communication pattern showed that someone high in Imperial command was helping them. "And you believe this traitor is High Admiral Vex?" the Emperor asked. "The evidence points to him," Olivia answered. All the suspicious communications passed through his flagship. The Emperor's form shifted and swirled. "This is a serious accusation against one of my most trusted advisors." Before Olivia could respond, the doors to the throne room opened. A group of Imperial officers entered, led by a tall, thin Alcyonian in an elaborate uniform. His chest was covered with medals. "Your Majesty," Kelly whispered to Olivia. "That's him, High Admiral Vex. I recognize his voice pattern from the intercepted communications." Vex approached the throne and bowed deeply. "My Emperor, I came as soon as I heard primitive aliens were spreading lies about me. These humans know nothing of our ways. They are trying to create division within the Empire." The Emperor's form pulsed. "Commander Martinez has provided evidence, Admiral. What do you say to this?" Vex turned to look at the human women, his three eyes blinking in sequence. "Evidence? A few communication patterns? That proves nothing. These humans were sent as simple medics. They have no understanding of Imperial military protocols." Olivia stepped forward. "We understand enough to know that the attack on Centauri 9 was coordinated with 3 other attacks across Imperial space, all targeting bases where soldiers had mysteriously fallen ill." "Coincidence," Vex said dismissively. Lisa moved to stand beside Olivia. "It's not coincidence that we found this on the Scythian weapons." She held up a small vial of green liquid. "This is the poison that was used on the Imperial soldiers. It affects most galactic species, but humans are immune." Vex's blue skin darkened slightly. "The Scythians have always been peaceful traders. They would not attack us. Unless they were promised power in a new order," Daniela said. "An order where the Empire is seen as weak and unable to protect its worlds," Kelly added. "And all the attack communications were routed through your flagship, Admiral." Vex's face showed nothing, but his hands twitched slightly. "This is absurd. Your Majesty, surely you don't believe these primitives over your loyal Admiral, Thai?" Emperor was silent for a moment. Then his voice filled the room. "I have watched the security footage from Centauri 9. These primitive humans fought bravely to protect Imperial soldiers. They have traveled across dangerous space to bring this warning. Their actions do not suggest deception." Vex took a step back. His hand moved toward a weapon hidden in his uniform. Olivia noticed immediately. Her own hand flashed to her hidden pistol, drawing and aiming in one smooth motion. "Don't move, Admiral." The Imperial guards raised their weapons, pointing them at both the humans and Vex, unsure who to trust. "Your Majesty," Vex said quickly, "see how these humans threaten me in your throne room. This proves their barbaric nature." The Emperor's form expanded slightly. "What it proves, Admiral, is that Commander Martinez saw you reaching for a weapon in my presence. A serious offense." Vex froze. Then, suddenly, he pulled his weapon and fired, not at the humans, but at the Emperor. The energy blast never reached its target. Nicole threw herself forward, activating a small shield device. The blast hit the shield and bounced away, hitting a wall. Chaos erupted in the throne room. Guards moved to protect the Emperor. Vex turned to flee. Olivia and Daniela fired at the same time, hitting Vex in the leg. He fell to the floor. In moments, the guards had control of the situation. Vex was surrounded, his weapon taken away. The Emperor's form pulsed with light. "Guards, arrest High Admiral Vex for treason against the Empire, and bring in the Scythian ambassador. I wish to speak with him immediately." Olivia lowered her weapon slowly. The throne room grew quiet again as Vex was taken away. "Commander Martinez," the Emperor said, his voice softer now. "You and your team have done the Empire a great service. You came as healers but have shown yourselves to be warriors as well." Olivia nodded. "On Earth, Your Majesty, we believe that sometimes you must fight to protect those under your care. Our women train in both medicine and combat because both skills save lives." The Emperor's form seemed to nod. "A wise philosophy. The Empire has much to learn from humans, it seems." In the days that followed, the full extent of the plot was uncovered. Vex had promised the Scythians control of several frontier worlds in exchange for their help in weakening the Empire. He had believed that humans were too primitive to be a threat to his plans. The Emperor called a special session of the Imperial Council. Olivia and her team stood before the gathered representatives of 100 alien species. "The Empire owes these humans a debt," the Emperor announced. "They have shown us that caring for life and being ready to fight for it are not opposite ideas, but complementary ones. From this day forward, human medical teams will be welcomed throughout Imperial space." After the ceremony, Olivia and her team prepared to return to Earth. Their mission had changed the Empire's view of humans, especially human women. "What will you do now, Commander?" General Kraz asked. He had come to the Imperial Corps to thank them personally. Olivia smiled. "We go back to being medics. That's still our primary job. But I think the Empire will be less surprised when we show up armed next time." As their ship left the Imperial Corps, they received a message from Earth. Command. New requests were coming in from across the galaxy for human medical teams. It seemed that many worlds now wanted healers who could also fight if needed. "They're calling us the fighting medics of Earth in the galactic news," Kelly said, showing them the reports. Olivia looked at her team. Women who could save a life or take one with equal skill. Women who had come to heal but had ended up changing an empire's understanding of strength. "Not bad for a mission that was supposed to be just treating a mysterious illness," she said. The ship accelerated toward Earth, leaving behind a galaxy that would never again underestimate human women, or any humans at all.